Tom. It might have been a tough afternoon at times, but I think thoroughly deserved replay on the whole.
Yeah, especially when we went 1-0 down, because that hurt us a lot, because I thought we played some really good stuff at times. Obviously, let's give them credit. They're a very good team. They're a strong step forward side for a reason. But I thought we were tremendous. So delighted that we've managed to compete for 60 minutes before they scored. I think they were slightly on top at the time they scored, maybe with their set pieces and stuff. But frustrating to concede from a set piece, because that's an area we're usually really strong. But then all the character to come back and really take the game to them. And to be honest, how their keepers made 2 or 3 unbelievable saves. How we've not come away with a win is shocking, really. But we're delighted to take them back to our place on Wednesday.
I mentioned to Robbo, it felt a bit like last week in terms of the concentration and spirit required, but it was there in bags again, wasn't it, for the entire?
Yeah, and that isn't just hard work today. That comes from hard work over hard work over a long period of time. So all the way through pre-season, and I'm delighted we're seeing the joy from it, because they have worked blimmin' hard for a long period of time. So yeah, hopefully that will give us dividends throughout the season.
And I thought they came out quickly, as you'd expect for a team who are beginning their competitive season. But I thought you weathered it as a team really well and kept them restricted to few chances.
As I said, we do. Obviously, I do my homework. Majority of teams we play, we try to get a bit of information, not to necessarily worry about them, but to look at opportunities where we can be strong. And when you see people like Brett, who I must have played 30, 40 games against him at step 2, he's a very talented lad, good centre half, ridiculous experience for this level of football. And then the forward threats they have from both wingers and the 9 up front, I thought they were tremendous. And the 10 was useful. The skipper was good. I thought it was really good side. And for us to deliver the performance we have and take the credit we hopefully will achieve over the next week or so.
As you said, there was something like 60 goals in that forward line there last season. So particular pleasure for you to keep them rather quiet this afternoon.
Yeah, and especially with an altered back line, as I say, we're still developing a little bit in our process that we're trying to do, and that is hindered a little bit with personnel that are missing, obviously, still today, with injuries, suspensions, and various other bits and pieces, which means we're still 4 or 5 light today. But I thought it was tremendous. I thought Lewis making his full debut. I know he played a game off the bench for us last year on loan from Harrogate, but we're delighted that we've managed to get him in. Gives us real good strength on that right side. He's a useful lad, and he's got a bright future as well. Maxi back from injury. Again, we thought was probably going to play 60, 70 minutes because we didn't want to push him too much. But when Mark's not here, what he doesn't know doesn't hurt him. And we managed to get 90 out of Maxi, and I thought he was superb as well. And with the rotation in personnel, we had to move Ryan into a different position. For me, I thought only Tom Walmsley was better than him on Saturday. So to have to move him into a different role with Josh's absence, I thought he's done another good job for us. So really delighted for the boys. And it shows that we do have that knowledge and understanding of different roles and responsibilities. And as I said, hopefully we'll get dividends from it.
And I guess that if you probably had one grumble in the first half, is that you maybe lacked a bit of an out ball to get yourselves forward. But yeah, I suppose people like Tyrell, when he comes back in, will help that. Yeah,
I think firstly, seeing Smithy back on the team sheet makes a big difference. I think he's a big, important player for us. Obviously, there's a reason why he wore the armband for us today. He's an important character, and I thought he didn't have his most effective game on the ball, but I thought his leadership and his winning little headers and things like that, they had no right to win, I thought was superb. But as you say, when we're at full contingency, I think we'll carry a little bit more of an attacking threat. But also when we're further along the process, those lads that are playing at the moment that maybe you'd think their shirt's under a little bit of pressure when you've got big names coming back in, but they're getting better week on week as they're learning the roles, because obviously some of these lads have only been with us a week, some of them 2-3 weeks. Obviously the lads that have been with us longer, you're seeing a lot of joy, and hopefully we'll continue to see that.
You did just touch upon it a little bit back, I suppose. The other frustration will be the manner in which you've conceded that goal. You've kept them quiet for 60 minutes, and then it's a free header to go one behind.
Yeah, so Robbo's telling me that there's a man free, and he said there's been a man free every time. I said, well, when there's a man free, let's take a man off the post, and let's make sure we're all marked. There's little things like that when they know that's what I want them to do, we'll be better for it. So hopefully we don't see things like that happen again. But to look back at the game and go, right, Liam Flitton's not really had a save to make, other than a free header in the box, which he's not going to get to. I think that shows how well we defended as a group. So, but again, when you're playing against high levels of football and against a really good side, 1/2 moment of lapse in concentration and you get punished, and that's what we was. But for me, it was all about that character to come back and to really push. And I think I'd rather play them now in extra time and keep going myself And even their frustration towards the end with the lad getting sent off last 4 or 5 minutes or whatever it was, even less than that, I think. But it just showed that we had them rocked a little bit and that it was coming. Referees don't tend to add time on for us when we want them to, but hopefully we'll do the job on Wednesday.
I mentioned this to Robbo as well. It's difficult.
He did well, by the way. I thought Robbo, he was very effective today. I thought he's a lad that we looked at for a year or two. We knew he'd come in and give us certain attributes, but he's going from stride to stride. And you give him a year with us, and I think he'll. Same with like your Hendos. I think you give him a year with us, them two boys are going to fly. I think they've got big futures ahead.
Yeah, we were saying it. Difficult as a Step 5 club in the FA Cup, isn't it? You're kind of at the bottom of the food chain. You're on a bit of a hiding to nothing in a way, but all it takes is a little bit of luck sometimes, and you can be on a famous cup run. And maybe that was it today, and you'll take them back to our place on Wednesday.
Well,
who knows?
My talk before the game was me and Paul were saying it's are we here to make up the numbers, or are we here to make a name for ourselves? And I thought today was an opportunity to go and make a name for ourselves, go into Tuesday, which would have been deep in, which is obviously now going to be Wednesday, the FA Cup replay. But scare them before they've even kicked the ball. And after the result they'd had recently, psychology and stuff like that would have put us in a good stead. And I think we're very unlucky not to come away with a win. As I say, with on chance creation, when we watch the highlights back, I think it'll show that bloody hell, that keeper's made some blooming good ones. Robbo in particular was unlucky. Just delighted that Smithy got his over the line, and he'll be pestering me all the way home for his goal bonus again, I'm sure.
And I'm sure on the basis of today, you'll more than fancy chances of giving them another game on Wednesday night.
Yeah, personnel-wise, we'll have to reassess again and see where we are with bodies. So we could be slightly different, and we could be slightly stronger in certain areas, or at least have a little bit more depth in certain areas. But yeah, I think let's be honest, they're a good side. They're a very good side. It's going to be a difficult game regardless. But we've proven today we've got nothing to fear. I actually thought when we settled and was more, because for 20 minutes in the first half, I thought they was getting on top of us. But when we settled and realised that we can mix it with very good teams, because we're a very good team, we started to get our joy. And I thought we got stronger as the game went on. Little bit of a lull when they scored their goal, but then after that it was all us. And let's see if we can go win the game ourselves, and no matter get a draw.